Hey everyone, it's Dave from Curtis Crafts, and today I make a robot friend. So today I'm working on building an astromech droid to sit in the back of my truck. Obviously there's going to be a little bit more to this, well, a lot more to this, and I'll cover that in lots of future videos. But for today I'm working on building just the head out of some 1/16 inch styrene that I picked up from Tap Plastics. I made an initial drawing and some basic plans for this and determined the bottom of it would be 18 inches and the top part of the head would be 12. And using that and the height overall, I was able to come up with the angle for all my frames. There's 5 of them. And this entire part of the build I'm doing today is made from a single sheet of 5 foot by 3 foot styrene, which runs about $25. So it's fairly inexpensive. As you can see, styrene is really easy to cut. You only need to score the pattern that you're making and then break it on the score line, which isn't the same as a goal line, but you get the idea. I've worked with this material a lot in the past, and you could see in some other videos that I use Weld-On 3, and it's no different here. This solvent melts the joint that you apply it to. It's totally inexpensive, and it will actually fuse the two pieces together, making them one. And that makes it incredibly easy to do bodywork later. I used a piece of styrene as a flexible ruler to divide the circumference into 5 even zones, which I used to upright my verticals. And later on this will get used as inner support, so no waste. I also used the pieces I cut out of each frame to help hold it 90 degrees upright, and glued it all together. Once the supports were freestanding, I used that ruler from earlier to build support into the inside of the frame. Then I moved on to making that inner circle I cut out earlier the top half of the head. This also got an inner circle cut out of it so that I could mount things inside and on top of it at a later time. Once I have an idea of how things are going to be assembled, I flip it over so that I can glue the top part onto all the frames. Using Weld-On 3 just like before, and then basically I do that 4 more times until the top ring is fully attached to all the supports. And speaking of supports, it would mean a lot if you could support this channel by hitting that subscribe button. And that's my shameless plug for this video. This is going to be an extensive project to make this astromech droid that goes in the bed of my pickup truck, and I'm not quite sure how the rest of it's going to work out, but hopefully you find out with me in future videos. And yes, this is going to sit in the bed of the truck. The idea is that I could go walk into a store, just let it sit and be animated and chatter at people and spin, rotate, have smoke come out of the head, all sorts of things. And hopefully people will, get a kick out of that. The top part of this is spiraled upwards, and that's what's going to curl it to the same arc as the cone frame itself. I made the skin for this by just rolling the framework on top of a large sheet of styrene and tracing the top and bottom. You could figure this out mathematically, or there's websites online that'll give you what a pattern will look like for the face of a cone. But this is pretty quick and dirty, and the excess can be trimmed off with a knife once you've glued it together. For the lens and eye assembly, I just drew something up in Tinkercad and 3D printed it in some PETG plastic so it'd hold up outside in the sun. And since this droid isn't based on anything besides what's in my imagination as I'm building it, I just kinda go for whatever looks cool as I'm going. I cut a recess opening so that the eye would sit with the body and make it look like it followed the shape of the curve, which works better than I expected it to. Once the eye is set, I add another piece of skin to the side, which is going to house the recess so that I can have an opening panel, which will hopefully have something come out of it, or maybe smoke in the future, I'm not sure yet. And I also add details for LEDs that will come into play later, and more details in general. Then I make a surface skin to wrap the rest of the head in one single panel, and that finishes up this basic style and baseline that I will build the rest of this off of. This will be my second droid construct. The first one was basically just a statue, but I'm really hoping to go the extra mile with this one and make it have a little bit of life and character. So be sure to subscribe, like I said before, and possibly hit that bell notification so you can follow along with me. And bye for now.